Wassail, 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 which means good health. Good health to everyone. So, wassail Tisha Marie Kane, wassail Kathy. It's funny, Kathy, wasn't going to do this. I was going to sit down, wassail Catherine Lilly. I was going to sit down and do some research on it, and they just said, just get on with it. Get on with it. Wassail Laurie, wassail Eve. So, you've probably seen from the thumbnail, I can't remember what I wrote on it. I just had a shower, quickly made a thumbnail, and can't remember what I called it. Well, apart from Divine Androgyne. So, Divine Androgyne, self-mirroring, sacred union, spirit spouses, soul balancing, and alchemical marriage. So we are regendering the divine masculine and feminine. Wassail Ariel. So a lot of you there in Reims this morning, and that was gorgeous to see Reem again. So I've got that as a reminder. Wassail Shinatka. I don't know why we're getting slightly like big, bold fanfare energy today. So I'm just looking at you all saying hello and waving at each other because we can do that. It's all good. So part of the response to this is when I did the video and we had that energy through about the divine masculine, I got to do the top of my head. It kind of rocked my world because when it described, when Spirit was talking about Wassail Naringa, when it described the idea so that we could understand the difference between what at that moment I was calling divine masculine and divine feminine, which we all bandy about and we say it's all within all of us, and that's why we needed to do this energy of the divine androgyny. But we need to ungender it. We need to regender how we think of it. So to begin with, let's just be gendered so that we can begin to see how we understand it. So, and then you'll see how it's complicated within the feminine body. I'm not saying it isn't within the masculine body, but in the reading, they described how a divine masculine energy, love, is a foundational, supportive, non-judgmental, pain-absorbing frequency. And that's what Reem was talking about as well, that when she told me on Thursday, I said to her, this is so weird, I've just had this energy through. And it's about pain absorbing. So in a pregnant woman, while you are growing a baby in your womb, it's what we're calling divine masculine energy. And then when you birth it, it becomes divine feminine. But what we really need to do is that's so funny, Melissa. You had a bad feeling about the title and you can't hear it because you ain't ready for it. It's the most beautiful energy, and you need to hear it at some point, but maybe you're not ready yet. So these energies within us are really about two different types of love. They're like a love that's connected from within the core of the earth, and a love that's connected from outside the earth but comes into the earth as a kind of cosmic energy. So that energy of the earth serpent and the cosmic serpent, you see, the thing is, I don't know how to fully philosophize this. I just know that we have to begin to see them as not gendered because they're within all of us. They are an energy that seeks to be balanced, and there's something I'm picking up, I'm hoping, as we go through some cards. Your native live captioning is working. Whoa! I'm hoping as we go through some cards that we might get some different clarity of language, because this is a complicated energy. I also think it's why I've always, through my sound healing, picked up on two hearts, a higher and a lower heart, but they're not really a higher and a lower heart as such. One comes from the natural world and connects us into the natural world, the physical space. And maybe that is the pain absorbing heart. And then there's the other side, which is the nurturing heart. I still don't know. I really want to just kind of see what comes out. And I'm sure Wassail, Shania, or Shana. I've done that again, Shana. I'm so sorry. So some other people came in. Wassail, eat me, wassail some up. I'm just checking because I get caught up in literally trying to find words. There was a part where I thought, I can't do this yet because I don't know. Wassail, doll face. I don't know what the answers are to this, but Spirit is telling me just channel it. And when I started to get ready, it was like the high vibrational energy comes in sometimes. It gives my hands a real kind of anticipatory shake. So yeah, a divine agenda. It's about us. Look, we come into a physical world that is gendered, and we gender everything. And by gendering everything, we close everything. So one of the frequencies that I keep trying to start picking up, and then I never say it to you, there's a sense of, imagine, I don't know how to explain this. They keep showing me the Swiss clock that used to be in Leicester Square in London, and also the clock in Coventry. And it's about how a kind of very advanced cuckoo clock, they have these images that move around and turn around. And it's almost like when we are brought into the world, when we're created, when we seal in, yeah, they do sometimes. This was before I was like, oh, it's going to be one of those days. So we encapsulate a kind of one half of a loving frequency. So we might come in with I've got to keep using gender for the moment, but with the divine feminine nurturing love. And some people come in with more of the divine masculine, foundational, absorbing, pain absorbing love. So, and I'm not saying we don't have both, we do, but when we come in, it's almost like the Swiss clock turns, and the other part, the other half of our soul love is kind of kept hidden behind the doors. And there are moments like when it strikes the hour or when there's an eclipse, that these energies come together. They have a moment of combining. You witness another side to your own soul, but you're not pulling that energy in. Your thigh shake. I sit on this hammock so that I don't notice things like that. Yeah, eat me. I think this is what we're looking at. It's that it's not really male or female. By doing that, we're still dividing us as a humankind. We're sticking wedges between us. Wassail, Carla Clayton. Wassail, Conspire 23. Happy to see you too. Yeah, look, I'm going to just say something very briefly about streams. The stream is fine if you're divine enough to see it. If you can't see it, it's because you're not ready for the message, or you don't really want to hear today. There's all kinds of things. So you manifest the world you see. Wassail, Steph. So if you can't see it, you're not manifesting a connection with me. And that's damn foolish. Yeah, you're being 2 minutes behind, so you have time to think about it. Wassail, Paris. So I think that we will just, if you all don't mind, I thought that the titles that I put down on the thumbnail, I thought we might just throw cards on each of those and see what messages might come. Because I've got no idea. I don't know how to explain all of this. I'm still re-philosophizing it. And it's interesting, I've been spending a few days working with Kathy on the rune poems. And ever since the divine masculine energy came through, it's like I'm reviewing these words that were channeled before to look and see when they hiccup. Actually, a lot of the time they don't, which is really nice. Wassail, tani, tani. Yeah, Ariel, you tell them that. Stabilize your own energy. Because I think that's how it works. I'm sorry to say that, people. I think we create our own blockages. I need a sip of water before we move on. Wassail, Tiffany's Empire. They're very martial, these melodies today. This was frozen solid before I came, and it's almost half melted, and I've drunk half of it. Might be a short video. It's so humid today. I'm trying to remain very, 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 very calm. So, I kind of know the things they're going to say, hopefully. They're going to say, get a new iPad, it's broken. So, divine androgyny is the theme. So, we're going to begin with self-mirroring. Self-mirroring. What does self-mirroring mean? It's, if you look at the thumbnail, in one of the images, one of the divine androgynous figures holds a mirror in the hand, a circular mirror. And it's from the Splendor Solis series. And the Splendor Solis is an old alchemical, illuminated, I want to say kind of like a catalogue. It appears in different forms. People have drawn it in different ways. But this idea of meeting yourself, and this runs through many religions throughout the world. There are things like a fetch, F-E-T-C-H, in Ireland and often in Norse mythology. There's the wraith there's the doppelganger. There's this notion that there is another part to you, a spiritual part to you, but there is also a sense that sometimes people are so out of whack that they're not wearing either of the polarities of their divine love. And so the divine androgyny is the two aspects of divine love connecting to, maybe we'll call it green heart and pink heart, just to take out, I need to take out the gendering. So I'll put the gendering in just to regender it. So when I'm talking about the green heart, it's the natural world. It's what we would call the divine masculine. And I'm going to put, which, you know, again, immediately that you say it's a divine masculine energy, people say, why is it Mother Nature? We're gendering. It's not, it's nature. Nature isn't a single gender, it's everything. So we need to rethink things. Wassail, bright South 33, Wassail, seek them Levent. Wassail, someone else it moved, and then I realized I'd sung them already. Wassail, Tiffany. So, yes, pink will be what we traditionally call the divine feminine. It's a nurturing love, as opposed to a pain-absorbing foundational green lower heart love. So it's already hard to remove the gendering from our notions. And what I want to say is that we come in to a physical world where we are split on the whole into genders. There are people who are intersex, there are people who are hermaphrodite frequencies, there's all kinds of things. And sorry, I got sidetracked then by Amin. Wassail, Amin. It's very odd, Amin, that you always come in with the energy of wanting money. Or, you know, or a blessing. And the whole point really is that you have to do it for you. That's what this energy of this divine androgyny is seeking the balance within ourselves. I feel like it's such a cloudy energy that I don't even know how to talk about it. But let's go to, what did I say it was first of all? Soul mirroring. Looking for a mirror within ourselves. So, and these are ancient, as a alchemical processes. So let's pop the mic just back a little bit to give me some Yeah, that's exactly it though, Ariel. It's not just that you can't articulate it, it's just that we feel like if we step into it, we're just going to stumble on the gendered language. It's like there's no part of the frequency that has anything to do with twin flames. So please, nobody write that, because that's a toxic energy. This is about seeking a mirror within yourself, seeking your wraith, your fetch, your doppelganger. But they're an astral frequency. They're something that is out there waiting to meet with us, to mate with us. And look, I will be honest, some of you will be having sexual dreams. And some of you will use the kind of language where we talk about things like succubus and incubus. There's a part of it which is our own moral compass refusing to embrace our spiritual doppelganger because that may seem like being narcissistic and self-loving. Yeah, it's got a lot to do with sovereignty. If you look at some of the thumbnails, one of them in particular, they wear a single crown, the two faces. So let's go. I mean, I wanted to. We're doing soul mirroring, and here it is, the smoky mirror. But the point of it is it's a distorted mirror. It's a mirror you can't see yourself in, and that's just what I was saying. There's a sense of looking yourself in the mirror, seeing yourself and loving yourself. And that's the difficulty that people have. We can't learn to love ourselves without putting some distortion of a moral compass on that process. So anyway, look, we know then with the first card that there's divine magic out there trying to speak through this energy. So what would you like to tell us about soul mirroring? But it's self-soul mirroring. It's finding your astral doppelganger. The spiritually completing, but they are an energy that we run into all the time. There are moments when we flip and we inhabit the other energy. Like when I said on a pregnant woman, they switch from the green heart love of unjudgmental pain absorption, and especially at the point of giving birth, you need pain absorption, I understand, quite often, and then to allow it to switch into the pink heart, nurturing, guiding kind of love. They're both love, but they're different. They inhabit different frequencies, and we need them both. So what would you like to say about self-soul mirroring? Self-soul mirroring. I'm being shown I'm being shown bark with mosses. So it's like this is a bloom, a green blush that's all over our body. It's always been there to inhabit, but we tend to resonate in one half and not the other. Oh, that's interesting about the Balzac, the novel called Seraphim. Wassail. So what do we want to know about this self-soul mirroring? It's like it wants me to pull out the Alchemy of Astrology, because this is a very alchemical subject. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's 4. I'm always dubious when it's 4 together. We all like it to be one card. Well, I guess holding them, they are in 2 halves. They're kind of describing 2 different kinds of love frequency. And what's really beautiful is they're giving me it in a reverse so that we stop gendering it. This is the higher heart pink frequency of nurturing love. And that is being represented by the luminous warrior, who is a masculine figure, but in this, the other energy, the pain absorbing energy, is being represented by a woman, because they're wanting us to understand that it's not masculine or feminine. It's just a different love energy. Yeah, I think though, the point is, Eat Me, is that there's part of your process in that dream that is gendering something because that makes you feel safer in the astral. There's no gendering really in the astral. It's how we perceive things to understand them. And I do get the sense that sometimes, look, I have dreams where things might try to seduce me or to make me do things I don't want to do. And the moral part of my compass stops it within the dream. And actually, there's nothing wrong in the dream with owning our sexuality, owning the things that we're told are not right. And look, in the physical world, I don't have that. In the physical world, I just get on with anything. I don't have any moral compass sexually in the real world, just in the astral. So, as I said, this is the one half, the pink frequency. And then this is the other frequency, the green, the sort of fiery, actionable, foundational. It's a form of passion. We need to understand that there's passion behind this, but it's about taking fires, absorbing the fires into your body, absorbing pain and releasing and transforming pain. They're just two different energies. And they both matter, but neither is masculine and neither is feminine. We are mislabeling in some kind of moral security. We have to stop doing that. We make gender judgments and we have to stop doing that. It's a really strong energy. Yeah, this is definitely that energy that you spoke about this morning, Reem. This is the energy of the psychic healer. This is absorbing another's fire, absorbing the pain, passing it through your body in that lower world green heart energetic frequency and letting go of it, being able to let go of it. So let's go with the Alchemy of Astrology, if I can find it. Oh, I just heard an earth rumble. No, I don't mean an earthquake. I actually mean the voice of the earth. It just echoed in. I think you have to trust Reem. Yeah, the energy, if you want to learn about the energy of the psychic healer, Turtle Dove, Wassail, Turtle Dove, go and watch Reem's video from this morning and she'll talk to you about an entire journey to accepting it. Yeah, I am. I am. I kind of forget to mention things. No, I heard it all the time as a child, but it used to scare me. But nothing scares me now. So, look. Burst at Burston. What, oh, look, 44, 45. We've got this real kind of energy of spirit and the frequency of where we create new worlds coming in. Burst out of the gendering, burst out of preconceptions. Oh, this is another one that it's foundational. It's foundational. Let me put this down. They're not even the Alchemy of Astrology, they're runes. I do know that now. So we have mortared. Now, when I worked originally on this card has got an energy of spear, Gar, with two voids and people coming into union, but it could be, you could say, it's the two different sources of love. And if you take these out, you get the energy of the card Wendhorn, which is to unbind. And when Reem first pulled this card out, she immediately saw it in a way that I didn't, which is it's about unanchor the mortar. All the bricks are old. It's time to unbind and find a new, there's two sources of love here, and they're being kept separated, like the Swiss clock that I spoke about, turning round and round. And it's a little sandal. So it's a footstep. It's a step in the right direction, but you have to break the mortar that anchors the foundation. And you have to burst out of your dogma, your old philosophy, your gendering. We've all got to. Hey, 44 was in that as well. Where is it? I'm waving any cards at you. This is so beautiful because this is a divine masculine energy embodied in a feminine form. It's just saying we're not either. We call it that. Yeah, it's so hard to break free from dogma. Let's get the right deck out now. Oh, I'm gonna have a sip of water before it just becomes lukewarm. Oh, that was a bit sexual. It was dripping on my thighs. But look, that's the whole point. There is undoubtedly a sexual energy to this. It just is. Who was there 44 live? Wassail David C. Right. So, Alchemy of Astrology. Let's see what you want to say, because this is your imagery. This is your secret language that you've been trying to get humans to understand for a very, very long time. Now, I don't know whether any of you managed to catch Patrick last night. I can't say Ryakarukaruki UK. It muddles my head every time I look at it because I'm from the UK. Anyway, Venus, from about 58 minutes in, from 58 minutes in, because my brain's annoyingly accurate on numbers. Venus is in the witness protection program at the moment. I'm really not surprised that she turned up. It was a very, very funny reading that we did. And she's in hiding. She's just moved into Aries. And there is this sense at the moment that she's a legitimate businesswoman, is what came up a lot. She is not trying to reseduce Mars because she failed to get Hades again, okay? But I think she's here because we gender love in one direction. And part of the frequency of this is how we have an energy. I mean, Reem, you'll remember it when you were investigating the Babylonian gateways, because again, they came up. I need to find a reference and send it to you to show you. But Persephone was pissed off. Yeah. And she's in disguise. So anyway, Reem, the planets, gods, goddesses have consorts, and we always talk about what's a white wolf woman. We talk about this consort, wives, and I've always sensed they were just the flip side. So sometimes a god shows the energy that we gender as a god, and sometimes it shows the energy that we gender as a goddess, but it's the same frequency. It's just they're demonstrating different kinds of love frequency, or cruelty too. It all comes out. But so I feel like we are meeting Venus here because it's one of those things where we gender love. 2 more cards. So, solar eclipse. We've just gone through the solar eclipse. And again, yes, same gates, just the other side. There's one of the, I can't remember which, I don't think Kathy and I have got to it yet. I think it's, oh yeah, we have, we read it once, but we didn't do it yet, Kathy. It's candle and condle. This is a very similar frequency, macro and micro, but also 2 different forms of love energy. And in that, the story is that there's a doorway and there's 2 keys. You've got one, but something on the other side's got the other and won't let you in until you're ready for it. Wassail, the pen magician. So this galactic opportunity is the eclipse tunnel that we are in right now. And that's also that energy yet again of where, because it was a solar eclipse is when the sun and the moon meet, where we can join our 2 heart energies, our green love and our pink love, as they're calling it, to avoid saying our divine masculine and our divine feminine. Because if we're going to call things divine masculine and divine feminine, we are going to confuse our understanding of the issues. And we're going to gender things and we're going to bleed toxicity into things that don't need it. So for the moment, I'm going to have to keep trying to regender. So what's the other energy we've got here? We've got Hygeia. And Hygeia is biome. And that came up in your reading as well, Reem, because it's mind, body, spirit, and biome. I know, don't worry about it. I'm only trying to do it today to see if I can. But it is, ever since that came through, it truly is really, really confusing because we gender everything. And that's how we do things to understand. But we've made gendering toxic. I mean, I'm trying not to do dark and light ever since I spoke with you. So, biome. This is preventative medicine. This is the fever forcer. This is wellness and good health as a greeting. So yes, there is. There is always a serpent involved whenever you're dealing with health, because Asclepius, he was the young god of healing, and he did something very kind, which we're not sure what, to a snake. And the snake, they said, used to clean his ears out with its tongue. But what it was really doing was it was whispering to him all the secrets of health, all the psychic secrets of health. And it taught him the wisdom of resurrection. So during the time of Asclepius, no one died because he could bring them back from the dead. And it pissed off Hades so much that he asked Jupiter to destroy Asclepius. Yes, it's Ophicus is his snake. Ophicus is the snake of Asclepius. Asclepius, the healer, is the snake bearer. So here we've got Hygeia, I believe, is the daughter of Asclepius. And this is good health as a greeting. People by saying, Wassail! That's what it means. It means good health. Yeah, they are very often Sigdom, because in like early Anglo-Saxon, in most early literature, dragons were drawn as snakes with some legs and sometimes wings. And then it was much later that they became the very big, bulky, scaly kind of lizard-looking thing that you see in Game of Thrones. So originally they were an energy. Yeah, and you can say Sahar as well. That's Arabic. And Santé is French, and Gesundheit is German. They're all things for good health. And they're usually said when people sneeze, because sneezing was a sign of illness. And in many European countries, but in Britain, it was a sign that you were about to die from the Black Death. And so you needed to be blessed. Bless you, bring in a priest to bless your soul. So we just need to give good health rather than bless. But you are blessing everyone with good health. There goes another one on the floor, just to finish this soul mirroring energy, is about building a safer understanding of our sacred self. And our sacred self, I've often been shown a long time ago that when you bring your pink and your green heart spaces together as one, it becomes a blue heart. Well, an aquamarine. It's a kind of different frequency. It's a frequency of the paradise ray that was used to create all physical spaces. So, what have we got here? So we've got Make Make. And I want to say that this is us coming together. This is Wassail Rav 3R916, Wassail Danielle de Vries. So this feels like bringing the energy within us closer, wrapping each part, understanding that each side of our heart is equally important. See these energies of silver and gold. I do too sometimes, Ariel. For me, the gold one comes from inside the earth and the silver comes from the cosmos. And I often think of it as kind of slightly platinum, just to make it really special. Yes, it does look like the Ul rune. It's Make Make, environmental wisdom. This is cosmic egg hunting. That came up in your reading as well, Rim, how the eggs were made. In the Rapa Nui culture on Easter Island, Make is the principal god of, they get young people, yeah, men, and they have to swim across to an island, and it's the first one back from this perilous journey with an egg that they find from the birds, and then they get to be like top priest for a year. They get to sit in meditation with spirit. They don't have to do anything, and it's kind of, they get to stand alone. It's an energy of us standing alone in ourselves, with our mirror soul energy, reconnecting. And then we have Sulfur and Jupiter. So we have this energy of Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, reset energy. This is cardinal. The cardinal signs, the 0 degrees of the cardinal signs, all happen on an equinox or a solstice, and that goes back to this. We're going back to those rarefied moments when we are able to bring our two hearts together as one heart, and it's how do we work with those energies. And Jupiter comes in because Jupiter is the great cleansing energy that's connected to Jupiter. It comes through our energy wings, and you'll notice that on a lot of those thumbnails they have their energy wings. So being in a true mystical soul searching balance with both parts of your heart working as one gives you the beauty of your energy wings. And maybe the energy wings are incredibly absorptive, because this is about purifying. It's the energy wings, it's about healing, it's about aligning. There we go. The energy went a bit strange for a moment, but we're back. People. Back now, because it stayed clear for the first message. And we're going to move on to the second one. I'm not doing poetries today, not until Kathy and I finish working through them all. Right, nearly there. I'm going to have a sip of water. Going to look at what the next theme is on this little subject of a modified Bacano. Could you possibly explain its meaning to me? The two triangles overlap one another rather than meeting one another. I need to see it, really. And I have transformed Bacano because I put it into the Anglo-Saxon tree of Björk, which is poplar tree, not birch. See, look, lukewarm. Everything melts so quickly here, including me. Yeah, you can send it to me. Just send it to me at rustlingaround.com. So, 15:15, as I looked at my iPad time. So, we're now looking at sacred union. So, this is about getting married to yourself. I feel like I want to go straight in with these and these. See, you got a 4-year-old that's already tuned in. They're just a different generation. So, sacred union. Sacred union, sacred union. I see, look, it's so interesting. Mirroring, because you have to mirror you. You have to learn to love your spirit self, your astral mirror, your doppelganger, your wraith. But a lot of the time we think of these energies, we're told by religions that these energies are in fact dangerous, toxic frequencies. And they're just not. So Madur is man. And this is about myself and humankind. We are not part of true humankind if we are still existing with separate hearts, with separate spaces, with what should be our constantly transforming energy of that clock or the sun and moon in opposition. If we can't move it because it's plugged into a wrong frequency, we've got to unplug and go into the astral to witness. Yes, pair with yourself. I wish I could have said that earlier. It's on my mind all the way over here. Pair with yourself. Cosmic gift. If we could go in, you see, I think a lot of the time we've overemphasized the energy of pink love, what we've been mistakenly calling divine femininity. And we're losing track with the fact that we've lost this ability to pair with a kind of physical healing love. We do this stuff all up there on the astral, and we're ignoring the energy of our love in the physical, and that has to still be with us. We have to plug ourselves into ourselves. We have to seek pairing between our physical and spiritual selves, and we don't do it. Yes, our intention can be toxic. Yes, absolutely. I was going to say that we forget that there's a toxicity to it, but the toxicity is our intention. Exactly. Thank you, Sonja. It's us that makes things toxic when we judge, when we make snap judgments, when we tar all with the same brush. Our intentions. So, what would you like to say about sacred union? It's a 2. It's about pairing. Wassail, Dianantes. It's 2 of Pentacles, but this is somehow sun and the moon, yin and yang. It's balance, frequency. Change your life and become balanced. Not switch around the other way, become balanced. So you can look at Saturn, and Saturn has a consort called OPS. Now, to me, there is Saturn and there is the other side of Saturn, which is Ops. They're the 2 frequencies. Saturn is green lower heart, Ops would be pink higher heart, and they're one in the same. And you don't just... We've been in an energy which has been those frequencies separated, and we keep thinking like Libran scales, that somehow the one's going to rise up and the other's going to fall. But before that happens, they pass through a stage where they're in balance. We have to balance everything. We have to balance our minds. We have to balance our emotions. We have to balance our desire for judgments with freedom to just exist. Yeah, nothing is external to us. It's how we shove our internal energies outwards, and we most of the time shove them out of ourselves in a toxically unintended fashion, unfortunately, because we all make snap judgments. We've got to stop doing that. You know, we always do this thing of which side of the argument do you fall on? Well, for me, both. Because I can always see both sides to everything. And that can be annoying. But it's ultimately a better way to live. Come on, what would you like to say to us? Spirit's picking up. I can feel spirit getting really quite strong. Welcome, Crone. Wassail yate. Oh, interesting. Look, we're just getting balance. Sacred union. And these are physical world energies. 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. This is to flow. This is usually the giving and receiving with equal energy. But in us, This is before we do anything in the physical world. We've got to bring our balance into our physicality. That's what I'm hearing. Balance your own physicality. Sacred union with your doppelganger is this energy. It's all pentacles. Well, I say that, I don't know what this one on the floor is. It's all pentacles. So, tree of life, key of life, this frequency of the 8 of pentacles is followed by the tree of life, the key of life, as the Kabbalah 10 of pentacles. The key to being blissful in the physical world is absolutely to balance your physical heart with your spiritual heart. Maybe that's a way of saying it. I'm still not sure. I need to think about this. Yeah, we do. We've got to balance everything. It's the Knight of Swords, but look at all the pentacles. He's battling to bring control to these scattered aspects of the physical world and the physical frequencies. So raw, emotional, and divine. Bringing order in the thoughts so that you can bring everything into balance. Really, really interesting. So, is there any other aspect of the sacred union that you want to bring up? Because at the moment it's about unplug yourself from the world so that you can begin to spin your hearts together. But you won't spin them together here in the physical. You've almost got to take the energy to the astral. And once you've spun it into place on the astral, once you've found your spiritual astral doppelganger, your wraith, your fetch, these energy frequencies, your sacred ghost that haunts you. And look, part of the energy that I'm picking up is that, look, we come down into the earth in a physical body, and we know, we seek, we sense that there is another part to our energy, a mirror, an energy, and we seek the mirror in others before finding it in ourselves. And that leads to toxic relationships because you're not balanced, we're not balanced. Yeah, I've done it, you know, I've gone looking for the love of another before the love of myself. And that's what we have to do now. We have to fix up. We have to go dating ourselves on the astral. We have to learn to accept the other half of our soul that we deny the existence of, because that's the setup of the energy, that some things are held behind us and we have to go seek the seats of our soul, and they're something that need to be pulled together. We witness, we have flashes, we have moments with those frequencies, but transforming them is often a very gradual life path. So we've got to go dating ourselves on the astral. So really weird but beautiful concept. And then I'm sure you'll find that there's a mirror here that you can settle in with. So anything else you want to say about a sacred union? A sacred union. A sacred union. A sacred union. What else you want to say about this sacred union? Wassail Athena. Come on. There we go. There's one on the floor. 13. So change. But blah, 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 blah. So what I'm getting from this is 13 moons. I'm getting this notion of looking for the number. The 13th moon is you, is what they're sort of saying. So okay, I'll have a look at it later. The 13th moon is you. It's like they're showing me the clock, the tick-tock clock, the Swiss clock. That's been this image all the way through, and how the doors open and figures come out, and the figures are other versions of you demonstrating other forms of love, other forms of understanding, other forms of being. And the figures need somehow to come out of both doors and come together in the middle. And that's when you get the transformation. But the transformation is also like a rebirth frequency that's taking place now. So one of the energies is last year, if you remember, all of our eclipse tunnels were lunar to solar. So going from the darkness to the light. But actually what this one is the other way around. We had the solar and we're coming to the lunar. Because what we're doing is we're opening a solar energy. We're meeting, we're bringing the two hearts together, and then we're heading through an eclipse tunnel is a space out of time. It rolls with different energies. It brings up new energy frequencies. And then when you come out in the lunar eclipse, you're dealing with something that's personal, emotional transformation, not collective. It opens a collective energy where everyone needs to seek a personal rebirth. And the rebirth frequency, and I said this a while back to Reem, that I picked up, is when we are born, the mother who creates the passageway for us to be born, to be alive, they absorb the pain. And this eclipse, it's about rebirthing ourselves. It's us that has to absorb the pain. And we absorb the pain because we've got two hearts. And if we work with both of them, it makes us more capable of absorbing more that hurts and transforming it. So where's it going then? Where's the sacred union going? Where's the sacred union going? Oi, it's down there. Oi, there's another one. Oi. Let's have a look, see what they are. Right, I'm going to say, first of all, there's one facing up, which is, don't be 12. Stop being 12. 12 is the energy of the physical world. It's the 12 hours of the clock. It's the 12 months of the year. It's the codes, the frequencies, the stasis that holds form in the world. We are transforming. We're moving through this static, this moment of pausing, but there's something very backward self-collective. 12 of the zodiac, exactly. Hey, and we are adjusting. We're coming into balance. Seriously, you are the 13th moon. Pause, calculate, assess all that it means to be 12 and shift. Is this 8 in this deck? This is often 11, which would have been 13, 12, 11. It's a kind of return to spirit, a return to soul. And so we're adjusting, bringing balance. And where does that bring us to? A brand new, powerful, divine frequency of a new beginning. So that's your sacred union. Sacred union. Let's see what we get for the next section, which I can't remember what it is. La 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 la. La 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 la. It's everyone. You, Sinatka, we can all do this. What you do is you seek to meet yourself on the astral. So before you go to sleep, you talk to your spirit team, your guides, your ancestors, and you say, I'm ready to do this. It's not about us being more psychically able. It's about the intention. If you go to sleep and you intend it, you can do it. Everyone can do these things. They're not hidden away from us. We just have to do it. Intend it. We have to intend it. No more water. Except I got this one. And this one's a vacuum flask, so it will be colder. So, what's the next part of this? Divine Androgyne. Spirit spouses. Now then. Spirit spouses. Is Eve still here? Eve got a bit of a fascination with that idea of a spirit spouse. So, spirit spouse is a weird gendered term. Spouse is a bit strange. Spouse always sounds a bit mousy, like it's not there. So spirit spouses are often seen as, in many cultures, and they turn up in all different cultures, but they're often shamanic. It's this energy about how, like you have succubus, incubus, they all have different names, but they're this idea that shaman marry their gendered opposite. It's that notion of the third gender, that notion of the two spirits, that notion of the great healers, the great psychics, having such a balanced connection with their energy. And in some cultures, if it's a male shaman, he might on a Saturday dress as a woman, and that invites him to call in male energies in the spirit world. There's all that kind of traditional gendering, but I want to try and look at this as again, non-gendered. It's a connection. I wonder whether spirit spouses are, and these are often sexual relationships, whether again, they're just us meeting our doppelganger, but not recognizing our doppelganger, our astral mirror, as being who they are, as if they come clothed in a different frequency look. They could be from us in a different lifetime. They could be an incarnation memory. There's all kinds of explanations, and I don't know what they are. But I feel that the energy of spirit spouse is quite an important frequency to connect with. I think we need to learn. There's something about this energy which in the Hieros Gammas, it's the notion of a marriage between gods, but it has also become passed down into the modern as a kind of divine union of that lacks ejaculation, I guess is the best way to say it. And there's something about this that's about spirit spouses that feels a little bit like it might be about a mental ejaculation. So anyway, are you all blushing? Let's see what comes, because I've got no idea. Hey! So I'm going to go with, do you know? I don't know. I'm going to start with a little Lenormand. Oh, something on my head. It was a sprite. So we have bear. Bear is your essence. And bear is about waking up. And bear's grumpy. This feels like the energy of having disturbing, not nightmares, but I want to say disturbing sexual fantasies while asleep. So, yeah, it's interesting, David, because in many ways, dark is light to me. All forms of darkness are just another form of light. They're all on the scale, but it is the same thing that you're saying. Look, this is house 1. We're going to house 2. Anxieties. These are sexual anxieties. This is what I'm picking up. So, spiritual spouses are not always us. There are a whole series of spirits out there that will spouse you up in the astral, and they're trying to help you to work out sexual anxieties. This is dog. And this is house 11. This is the dream world. But they're trying to bring prophetic comfort. Right, so see what these are. These come along to bury sexual anxieties. It's the astral trying to bring you a frequency to bring you back to yourself without the anxieties. So these spirit spouses are offering you a passageway in the astral to understand and not always your own sexual anxieties, but sexual anxieties that are out there. If you're on some kind of shamanic journey eventually, they're teaching you how to approach and understand. I want to say energy is not just anxieties about sex, but energies where people might talk about shaming people for sex. There's nothing to be ashamed of in sex. Sex is a playful exploration of the physical. It's our morality that chooses to shame, and that's a judgment, and that's a toxic energy. Yes, turtle dove, it is that, but your ideal spirit partner is the other half of you that doesn't always show. We all have another half of us that doesn't show. So what I want to say there, Shana, is I don't know whether you mean you want someone to teach you or whether you want someone to explore kind of bringing Kundalini up through sexual magic. Yeah, that is slightly harder. We really, Kundalini is an experience within ourselves. So it's about, to me, Kundalini, I don't use the word Kundalini because it belongs to another spiritual practice. Again, I'm always searching for different semantic frequencies that I can use. because they don't come with any toxicity or any weighted energy. But when I used to do what I understood to be Kundalini energy practice, I did it through breath, and I was connecting. The earliest example of the two Uberos, or if you like to say Ouroboros, you can. But it's in the Book of the Netherworld in Tutankhamun's tomb, and there are two Uberus snakes. One that is the pink higher heart, and one that is the green lower heart. They're not described in that way, but one's over the feet, one's over the head. And the understanding I have is that when you draw these two energies together, you connect them in your heart, and your heart spins at one. But when you do that successfully, the energy is so profoundly powerful, particularly when Earth was the dominant energy. And so the energy would rise so powerfully that your entire body would vibrate on a wider frequency. I don't want to say a higher, on a wider, more open frequency. And when this happens, the cosmic snake energy comes down and links in. It's so powerful and so strong that our bodies couldn't cope with it. And that has become gentler because the earth snake is no longer dominant. Now the cosmic snake is. And so it's coming in a different way. It's coming in with a consciousness. When I did it both times and successfully connected my two hearts, I passed out. And the second time I passed out, I fell over backwards and I hit my head on the floor. I hit my head on the floor, and because I was connected to my cosmic serpent of consciousness, my cosmic serpent said to me, "You've passed out. You need to punch yourself in the face to wake yourself up." And I did. I punched myself in the face, woke up laughing, but I did say to myself, I'm not playing with that fire again. It's a dangerous energy, and I think there are, as Reem said this morning, there's a lot of charlatans out there who will offer you a Kundalini experience, and years ago it was a very playing with fire energy. It could really be quite destructive. I think it's different now, but I still don't play with it that often. I think I did do a reading, or I can't remember, or Reem asked me to, or people did, about connecting it in. And I have for a long time talked about it as being another word that I don't like to use, but tantric experience, because a lot of the sexual pleasures that people have were also just a kind of earthbound, energetic sort of rutting frequency. And actually, the energy now is much more about kind of energetic drawing out of something deep within another soul. But you can't really do that until you understand how to play both parts of your heart. Otherwise, you're always seeking the empty part of your heart from another. You need to be able to bring both parts of your heart together so that when you're with another, you're both capable of that. You can control your dreams, but it is often better to ask your spirit team to show you dreams so that you react naturally. So if you wake in the morning and you think in that dream, it means that's an energy that you need to work on. If you just lucid dream, it's very difficult for the astral, your spirit guides, to show you things because you won't let go of controlling it. Yes, but you see, turtle dove, I would say that then you need to somehow, I'm not saying find crazy, wanton, mad frequencies, but I think there's something about when we get trapped in one type of dream, we're not allowing another part of our frequency in. So a dream of compassion would be just purely astral dreaming. And if we're not able to bring the astral dream down into the physical, then it lacks the other half of our heart. Because there needs to be a foundational, physical, pain-absorbing, non-judgmental energy in our heart, as well as there being a nurturing, compassionate part. We have to be both. So, garden. You see, that is what I've just said. That is the physical world. So the card that came with it, which I put down ages ago while waffling on, this is Tower. Look, it's Nun in a Tower. She can't get out of her ivory tower. That's astral trappings. And the astral trappings, you need to come out and come back into the garden. This is actually the representation of the pleasure garden. Now, who wouldn't want to go to a pleasure garden? They don't exist anymore, but the pleasure gardens were originally, there was a famous one in Vauxhall in London, and men and women weren't allowed to be together in many cases. You know, you could be together within families. Oh, look, and there's love on the bottom, in together there. And I just mean engendering years ago, not discounting, you know, gay and lesbian people. So these were places where men and women could get together and they could explore things. What do you mean about strip clubs drawing momentum, Tiff? You see, I would say, neither when you have these dreams, they're fears. They're things that you're still believing is the only thing that could happen to you in the real world. I think we have to be quite pushy on what we see in the astral. I think there's some kind of fear there. I have to be honest. I really do. Oh, yes, sorry. Yes, the pleasure garden. There was one, the full pleasure garden, a strip club. Well, it wasn't a strip club, it was in a paper strip. People just stripped and had fun. But they were all of these things were part of the 200-year Earth energy frequency. It was a different kind of sexual pleasuring, a different kind of lusting, a different kind of, I always think of it as being Earth on steroids. It was rutty. Do I mean a fear of our own sexuality? No. What I think I mean about it is that we fear others within our sexuality. We live in a world where aggression and violence became more and more prevalent within the world of pornography and all of those kinds of areas. And all of these frequencies are absolutely fine if they're dealt with safely and in a way of exploring some part of our soul that needs to be learned from and let go of. But the world out there has twisted it all on its head and made a lot of the idea of coupling toxic. Yes, humans do need a lot more touch that isn't sexual, but then I would say I live in a world where touch isn't sexual. I think that's something which we often put on others. I've always been someone who has openly hugged anyone, strangers, people I meet. I've always been very physical, and that's not sexual. The sexual touching is a completely different frequency. But what we don't do is we don't explore honest partnerships. We don't teach how to meet people and be kind with people. Yeah, it does. It does get you into trouble because people don't understand it. But I, I just always think now that if someone doesn't understand it, you just have to be honest with them. And you have to believe that people understand that your hugging is a supportive compassion to share an energy. So, any more? Oh, look, it's the card of exploring a renewed adult sexuality. It's perfect for the frequency of the transformation that these energies of our soul spouse, spirit spouses bring. They're a chance, as I said earlier, to explore safely in the astral things that you wouldn't dream yet of doing in the physical. And we can load energies onto sexual pleasures that on the whole are there because people don't express sexuality very healthily. But there are people out there who are capable and can. You know, I always think that we often talk about being healers, but we need sexual healers. We need people capable of teaching others to explore sexual healing. It's a really important energy. So, any final message on spirit spouses from this deck? It's Tree of Life. It's a gathering frequency. It's a frequency that we should pass through. It's an important energy. So I'm going to ask again, Alchemy of Astrology, because this is, as I said, this hierogamous notion, spirit spouses, all of this energy, this divine androgyny, this spiritual coupling is all part of the alchemical 12-step program. Look, this is pulverized. We've got another master number, 88. This is really higher dimensional notions. It's a balance frequency. It's mirroring frequencies that we keep getting. You can say Marvin Gaye if you want to. You can say Russell's gay if you want to. Atomize, powder, break down, minutiae, soften, ease hurts, microanalyze, deconstruct to reconstruct. So this is what this astral is offering us. It's offering us the chance to break down anxieties, break down traumas. A spiritual spouse will take you on a spiritual sexual healing that's safe from the physical. But the sense I get is that many of us would wake up from a dream like that and question why we had the dream. There's something about sexual healing in the astral. It's an energy we have to be open to. And there is something about the non-physical orgasm. So it's about orgasm, intellectual orgasm, rather than physical ejaculation. That's the energy that we're looking at now. Yeah, do you know what, Jena? That's exactly it. Go to bed. Get yourself all kind of dressed up in your sexy outfits, in your lucky knickers or whatever, and prepare yourself to have that dream. Don't be put off by it. And we now have Ophiuchus. So this is the bolt from the blue. Yeah, I mean, there are certain groups. It was really weird with COVID when we were all told you couldn't touch people. I was like, you're taking away a huge part of my energy frequency to say I can't hug somebody. So this is the bolt from the blue. This is Asclepius. And this is the frequency of a galactic thread of divine consciousness. These spiritual spouses bring some kind of healing frequency, a divine 13 frequency. It's coming up again, be more 13. So it is this real frequency. I'm thinking, as you've written climax, I'm thinking of the French word, which is, I've said this before, petit mort, little deaths. The idea that every time you ejaculate, you have a little death. But maybe there's something backwards about that thinking, you know? There's a part of, there's a whole philosophy where you're supposed to try and keep all of your sexual energy inside as a form of sexual magic. But the idea is that you never release your ejaculates. And you need to. I don't care what anyone says. You need to do it. These are energies that otherwise become a kind of toxic stasis. So any final message, please, on spirit spouses? Spirit spouses. Sexual sublimation. Beautiful. That's a beautiful term. That's like dry ice, going from being frozen to just being pure gas. No state in between, just heightened. Come on, one more message. Moon in Cancer, emotions in the heart, emotions back in the home, being protected from toxic emotions. Moon in Cancer, it's where the moon belongs. It's where we belong. In a kind of, look, it's mirroring again. This is you and a sexual spirit spouse. There's nothing wrong in that energy. Spirit spouses, sexual healers that can visit you on the astral. And they teach you how to heal others as well as yourself. So that's spirit spouses. All these weird subjects we're coming into today. We're going to go into, I think there's another part of this. Is it pairing? Yes, but Tantra, my understanding, not necessarily Tantra, but it's the word I've used. The idea is that you keep the sexual energy inside your body, and then you, with another, you explore how to heighten, transform your entire energy frequency so that you can release, because there's power and magic in the release. It's not about keeping everything locked up inside because it becomes toxic. We need to explore sexual release. There's a powerful energy in that. Yeah, absolutely, Parry. That's exactly what it is. So, what's the next part? I need to check because I can't remember what I wrote. Don't know why it keeps closing the picture down. Okay, soul balancing. Soul balancing. See what we get on soul balancing. I need a bit of water. Let's go with the shamanics. It's getting a bit warm up here now. Would say it's getting a bit hot under the collar, but it's not me. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to rifle them again. What are we doing? Soul balancing? Remember already. Oh, miss. They keep showing up. I feel like a sneeze is building in my body. Right, here we go. What is it? Soul balancing. Soul balancing. Soul balancing. What do I think soul balancing is? Oh, tell you what, it's a union on the thigh. I just need to show you where that landed. Oh, now I can't see it back down again. What have we got? Oh, soul balancing is a kind of spiritual air holy mountain. It's the new black. It's what we're looking at. This is a new frequency. But they're saying it's been mislaid. Mislaid. There's something about the holy mountain, the soul balancing. You have to balance your soul before you can balance another or with another. Oh, bye, Ariel. Her nosegasm. Hey, it didn't happen though, did it? It's still there. It's on that side. It's just, it's. Oh, you see now they were interesting. They lifted up. They went down and they bounced on my toes. And they went pomp, 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 and then fell over. We've got another mirror energy. 2-2. This is so interesting, but this is, I've never seen this card as this energy. This is, can you find your ghost, your spirit, the missing part of you in the wind? It's almost like it's been blown further away and it's reaching out to you. It wants you to bring it back in from the cold. And then we have medicine wheel. And then we have Pachamama. Now, Pachamama is reminding me, I don't know what it's called, I forget, but there's a moment in Andean culture that's in the beginning week of May, which we're in right now, in which all the shamans go out to seek their spirit spouses. And actually what this is saying is it's about learning through spirit spouses to access the place where your soul, spirit, self, this doppelganger energy that has, I don't want to say it's not really an ancestral lineage link. It's this is like a cosmic law link. It's something we're all supposed to have a connection to under cosmic law. We all have a ghost, a wraith, a doppelganger, and you can call it whatever you like. It will have different names. It will bring different dreams. It will activate different sexual healings depending on the energy that you need to explore currently, and that's about soul balancing. And it's like the earth has calmed enough to bring you, look, Pachamama is the holy mountain, but there's an energy where this was too roid ragey, this was too morally angry, this was too divinely furious in only one frequency for you to understand it. And the wind has come in, the air frequency has come in to calm the toxicity of the earth when it was the dominant energy for 200 years. It slowed all of that down so that you can now see the spiritual benefits of the holy mountain, and you can now begin to see through the fog that missing half of your soul or your heart or your, however you need to look at it, the ghost. Yeah, it does, exactly. You need to pull them back in to the sweat lodge and hold them tight. That's the energy that I'm getting. They are integral. Let's go with Alchemy of Astrology, soul balancing. Alchemy of Astrology. We got Taurus energy just flipped over. This is available because the North Node's in Taurus. Don't know why. Oh, look, what's come out again? Ophiuchus. The bolt from the blue. The magical, the wormhole, the cosmic wormhole created by the sun and the moon, and then the moon and the earth. The eclipse tunnel is this point where there's a chance to reconnect, to hold the hand, to seek our spiritual doppelganger. Yeah, and it's 13 frequency again. Sagittarius. So this is to soften. This is serration. This is when you work endlessly on some kind of scab, some kind of something attached to you that's like, I want to say like something that you just keep picking on and scratching and making bleed because your morality says it shouldn't be there, and you're not softening it to actively remove it. You're just hurting yourself through a wrongly set moral compass. This is to relax. This is us relaxing. If we can seek our spiritual ghost, the other version of ourselves that's part of ourselves that we don't deal with, and this is not Wassail Matthew, Wassail wandering seeker. This is us that's been hidden from us because it wasn't the time, We weren't prepared. This is a gift opening because of this tunnel. That was a spinner, spun in 2 different directions and passed underneath me. Saturn. You see, so I want to say that this is the lost, this energy, the lost part is the lower heart chakra, the frequency of the foundational physical love, the non-judgmental love. We're seeking that. And look, it makes a lot of sense. We are judgmental. We always go, oh, I don't judge. We do. We all do. But we need to learn to face not judging others and allowing others to just be. If someone comes to you in pain, hold them. Hold them and absorb their pain and let it go. We all need to connect with this energy. Yes, when it first came through, we called it divine masculine love. But that just means we're not so willing to allow these energies in. We're still judging each other on gendering. We need to ungender everything. We need to see that there's 2 parts to our heart, and we need to work with each of them. No, I don't want to say that it's only God that won't judge. We are capable of not judging. We really are, Tiff. Because if we say only God won't do it, then we're excusing ourselves for judging people. It means we're saying we can't ever get there. We can. We can learn not to judge others. It's just very hard because we grow up in a world that teaches us to judge people, and it teaches us all to want to feel better than another by judging them. And yeah, they say God doesn't judge, but really love doesn't judge. Really, love is the thing. Yeah, we really mustn't judge others. What we should seek to do always is hear people and maybe just understand them. Because I may have had a difficult time of a relationship with my father, but I learned to understand why, and his came from his own experiences in life. And when you begin to understand rather than judge, you become compassionate, you bring a new energy to people. And I wasn't. I looked up because you were sent to write that message to me, Tiff, so that I could talk about it. And so thank you for that. Look, she's back. It's Venus. You see, I was going to say I need to look at what these 2 cards mean, but you don't, because they are the 2 heart chakras. That's what a balanced soul is about. There's 91 cards in this deck, and yet they've pulled out the 2 heart chakra cards, F and F sharp. It's just beautiful. And then, what have we got that's just dashed over there quite quickly? Yeah, this is really interesting. It's boiled. It's sex. Sex has to come back because sex has been toxic for too long. So it's about an emotional boiling, an excitement. It's house 8. Oh, so this is the energy of the lunar eclipse. This is about resurrecting sexual passions, like an energy returning. it's a different kind of frequency because it's balanced. We have to rebirth in this tunnel. This is the energy we come out with in a kind of sexual healing, a personal marriage of our soul, of our hearts. We're drawing that energy. This energy's been absent for a long time. This frequency of bringing the two hearts together to create a third. But we need to do this. See, I have a tendency not to judge very often. I might make judgmental comedy because it makes me laugh and others. But I just, all the time, I just go out and I see people and I go, God, they're lovely. And then someone will say, no, they're not. They're really difficult. They're a really nasty person. And I go, not what I'm seeing. Seeing really nice energy. I mean, I don't always. Sometimes I see people and I think, oh, you could do with a big hug. But on the whole, I am not judging. I just want, you know, and people often write things on here that I might not believe in, but I try to understand why they believe in it, because we are all different. We've all got many paths, but it is hard. I do understand that. So let's look at the last part, which I remembered just now, but now I can't. I really, really can't. I'm trying to focus without looking. What was the last energy? Oh, alchemical marriage. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's see what we get on that subject. An alchemical marriage. Alchemical marriage. An alchemical marriage. An alchemical marriage. Oh, I'm not going to use them. This really is that sense. Well, I'm not a great one. I'm not particularly keen on the word marriage. And in Britain, we had civil partnerships for a while. Now you can have gay marriage and all that kind of thing. But this is an alchemical marriage. This is a different thing. This is very Mary the Jewess frequency somehow. This is the Massa Confuser with the Prima Materia coming together to create a personal philosopher's stone, I guess, within us. Yeah, thanks, Tiff, though, for bringing that up, because sometimes people bring things up and I'm really grateful they are, because it allows me to give a reaction to them. Ooh, look, friends. It's Vanhamir. And then I feel like I've kind of feel like I've been a bully, but it's never my intention. It's always to take things. Yeah, alchemical marriage, Reem. That's so weird. You were in my head just now. And here you are again. Let's get alchemical. Let's get alchemical. So, what is an alchemical marriage? What's an alchemical marriage? Yeah, here comes John D again. Or here goes John D. To me, John D is always like the hieroglyphica. There's an energy with John D of him vanishing. It's like, where's John gone? Where's John? He was here just now. Yeah, it's the two hearts make a third. The binaural beats, if they're tones rather than rhythms that are slightly out of tune with each other, they can help sometimes with clearing tinnitus. Yes, telepathically communicating. Right. What is an alchemical marriage? Or what would you like to tell us about an alchemical marriage? You see, that's interesting. Look, it's was. But we had before the card of man, which was about before unplugging and turning your energy in the astral, unplugging from the world so that you can change something. This is the energy of it's now the season to move differently. This is horsey, freedom, freedom to be in your own truth, maybe. Yes, the thing is, again, you're doing very well for me today, Tiff. We are all evil. It's not separate to us. It's an aspect of us that allows us to understand moral judgments. And you can have a dark thought, but it doesn't mean it has to be carried out. And so everything, including evil, is created from a seed of love. It's just as far away from it as it can get. So come on. There's a bit of spirit picking up in the room. Come along now. So come along, come along, come along, long, 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 long. Oh, that was really weird. So what do we have here? Oh, something just got in my ear. Go away. So we got a lot of red. Alchemical message, marriage, begins with Loki. Get out of my face. Begins with Loki, shifting. This is your own personal Yggdrasil tree. Your own personal Yggdrasil. So the energy of Loki is to shake something free. That's so weird. I was like, why are they making me think of them harvesting the mangoes? You've got to shake Loki from the tree. It's almost like Loki is you slumbering. But when you bring in this archetype, he's challenging. He brings new journeys. So this is about this is like Mary the Jewess. This is the alchemy. I'm nosy, I can hear voices. This is the energy of transformation, Mary the Jewess frequency, to shift, to transform, to physically become renewed, but also to free yourself from a prison. We have to always remember that Loki is a prisoner of war. He has a kind of Stockholm syndrome. He's used to keep peace. And so there's something about transforming in an alchemical marriage, I guess, to yourself, to your other, to your astral energy. You need to be able to shift. Then what do we have? We had hugging and mugging, the red and red, this very, the code. There's some kind of, you need to shift, you need your twin, your astral energy, your other half, your twin heart frequency to change, to bring these two together. And I am using the word twin because it's about the frequency of Gemini or Janus, Janus, and Iana, Jana, Diana, the sun, the moon. It's pulling it back into that frequency. We're in an eclipse tunnel. It's an Ianus Geminus. We are all born as a kind of twin, a physical and an astral frequency, and they're separated, but they are also tied together. They're also linked, and yet they're also lost from each other. And that's what this alchemical marriage is, refinding your other part to your soul fragment, as we often say in some of the decks. And then we have Odin. So this is like, here we have Hugging and Mugging again. I know that's not their real names. But so we have that, and we now are considering the space that separates the physical world to the astral. And Odin is representing the polarity. He's representing, again, this. It's no different, but this becomes more cerebral than this, which is an actual code that you're seeking to retune. It gets retuned and it begins to form. Look, he is very much an Yggdrasil tree. He's part of the physical world. He's bringing things into existence. And hidden behind the conjoining of two energies is the full truth. But it's not on display at the moment. And then it ends as Hugging and Mugging as one eye, one seeing soul, Perthro, which is Perth, which is cosmic beingness, to soar, to fly, to be absolutely, I wanted to say on fire, but with your soul, but that isn't what I want to mean. It's very much, it's interesting. I now wanted to say water phoenix, because that's about an emotional takeoff, but it isn't that either. This is like a cosmic phoenix. This alchemical marriage is a cosmic phoenix. It's the red lion and the white eagle being transformed, but not becoming one. So a cosmic phoenix. I don't know what that means. Yeah, the thing is, Eat Me, I don't want us to say masculine and feminine energies of nature. They're just different loves. They're just different frequencies. That's what I think we need to try and avoid, is the description of masculine and feminine. We've got a whole new generation of much more gender fluid understanding, and that's what this seems to be. This alchemical marriage is when we can unhook ourselves from the old words, the old genderings. We're regendering. We're coming into the idea that everything is genderless. Yeah, I know in the real world we come into different gender bodies, but our philosophy is too gendered. We need to remove the gendering in our philosophy. Love that cosmic phoenix. I know, let's ask about the cosmic phoenix, because I don't know anything about it, but it feels like it's when the soul takes flight to the world that is invisible. That phrase keeps coming up. It might be Plato or someone. It's some old Greek philosopher. The soul takes flight to the world that is, people say, eternal, but the real translation should be invisible. So there's a big Shaman blast today. Say again about tinnitus. It's, you use binaural frequencies, not binaural beats. Binaural beats are rhythms, but binaural frequencies are where in one ear they play an A, not necessarily, and in the other ear they play an A that's a little bit sharper or flatter, and the dissonant space that it creates between your brain processing the two tunings clears tinnitus sometimes. There's also, I did a video a long time ago which is about tinnitus, where hear the sound of the tinnitus and imagine it scanning up into your consciousness, and then bring that same frequency all the way down through your body, and then bring it back up. And as you practice more and more, you can begin to lift the sound up, take it over through the heart, where we combine to get this cosmic phoenix energy, out the back, down underneath you, and rotate the frequency around you in a figure of 8, and that sometimes takes the energy away. The Schumann frequency, people. So let's ask about this cosmic phoenix. This is like a divine spiritual union with ourselves. The cosmic phoenix. What do you want to say about the cosmic phoenix? What do you want to say about the cosmic phoenix? I would disagree. Stockholm Syndrome does exist. There was an article I was reading the other day. They didn't call it Stockholm Syndrome necessarily, but it was about how we find it very difficult to stop loving when we've given love to a certain place. And that's kind of what Stockholm Syndrome is. And actually, science likes to take things away to control things often. So, I'm not going to take that because I was talking about a different subject. I need to go back in. It's a lovely energy, Aquarius, but it's not the one that begins this story. Cosmic Phoenix, Cosmic Phoenix, Cosmic Phoenix. What does it mean to soar as a cosmic phoenix? What element is it? What element is it? Because an earth phoenix, a normal phoenix, is earth and fire. And a water phoenix always feels to me like it's water and air. So is it all of them? Is it muon? I don't know. Got Pisces. I feel like this is where it begins. It's something past. This is what in the 12 stages of alchemy, using the astrology signs as the different parts. The last part is Pisces. I'm sorry, I'm going to come back, but the thing is that, again, that's one article talking about Stockholm Syndrome, might not be what we've been told, but I've experienced it. I had Stockholm Syndrome, even if you don't want to call it that. And it is a distortion because it's a way in which you can't process. It's like a cognitive dissonance, but it does exist. It's an energy frequency that I went through, and eventually I unpicked it and removed it. But it's really wrong. It's kind of judgmental when we say that someone is wrong for understanding something. We have to be able to experience and feel things. So someone writing an article that says it doesn't exist, maybe they've never felt the energy that Stockholm Syndrome can bring. I'm not saying that it's the right word for it, but it just upsets me when people, and I'm not blaming you, it's an article, but they're telling you how others should feel, and they're claiming that they know better than people's personal experience. And that's something we really have to watch, personally, I feel. Because it hurt me when I went through that energy. And I had to unpick it. And actually, yes, in the end, I understood that I was equally to blame. But I still experienced a place where I was so used to putting my love, and my thought processes were so geared in to understanding the love that existed and then was lost, that I can only describe it as Stockholm Syndrome because we understand what that means. Anyway, let me go back to this Cosmic Phoenix. Thank you for bringing it up, though. What's this Water Phoenix? There now, look, we're getting Moon in Aquarius, so we're getting the Aquarius energy, and this is the energy of inflexibility. Being certain, it's a Moon in Aquarius is a very fixed exit point. It's an exit point. This is really interesting. There's something very strongly powerful. Aqua Regia. This is the energy that dissolves noble metals. This is the acid that is dragon's blood. So a cosmic phoenix is the truth, the discovery of truth. It's a dragon blood frequency pushing you to rise to a frequency outside of the normal physical realm, because there's a dragon energies are always talking about behind the veil. A north node and south node of dragon's head, dragon's tail. This is the dragon blood. This is that can dissolve noble metals, gold, silver, platinum. So almost it's an achievement. Oh, you see, look, you see, then there it is. The message we had about Stockholm Syndrome becomes this kind of energy here, in that you have to dissolve beliefs. We hold beliefs and we know beliefs, but we have to find ways to rewire, to redissolve, to change the patterns, to dissolve griefs, to rewire our thoughts to a new frequency so that our soul takes flight to the world that is invisible. That's this kind of energy. It's about seeing past a wave of distortions. Seeing past a wave of distortions to a truthful reality. So they're asking me, was he in Odin? You can't see the truth. He can't see the truth. He half sees the truth. We've got one that's hidden in the deck. This is like the energy you need to reach for. Life force. Happiness. Solar plexus, the light we shine. The light we shine. The bird is trying to reach for the sun. This is trying to reach for the philosopher's stone. Yeah, I'm excited to take flight to the world that is invisible. So, is there another message on this Cosmic Phoenix before we end this lovely little section? Lovely little section. Oh, you see, now that's a surprising energy. Yeah, it does. That's what I'm saying. The bird's reaching for the sun. It's almost like it knows the destination, and then it's reminding us that the destination is joy and happiness and life force coming into that frequency. This is a square. This is hot-headed. This is friction. This is superior versus inferior. So a large angle versus a small angle. The big versus the small. The square is like an uncomfortable realm of trappings. I think I need now the runes to end, because I'm getting Feo energy and I'm getting Ur energy. So, la 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 la. Absolutely gorgeous. Don't need any more than these two. So what was the first one that came out? Swelgeness. What is the conflict in your life? Everything you've been through to this point, your entire past, your entire existence is in conflict with you being your cosmic phoenix. So this is Urdhva. This is the frequency of the Norn of the past. And the trouble is, the more you are caught in the swirling whirlpool of your past, of nostalgia, of the creeping vine that wraps itself around you and holds you back, you're creating briars over the future gateway. You can't find your way to this cosmic phoenix frequency. You can't match yourself with your spirit self. You can't marry your spirit self almost. That idea here, the marriage of the two parts of yourself to your own personal Yggdrasil, because you're still focusing on the old past energies, the dogmas, the beliefs, the gendering. Everything needs to transform. It comes with the best possible outcome card. It's coming with hell, because we have to rethink how we think of hell. Hell is a goddess, hell is a realm. Hell's name was used to describe the hell in Christianity, but hell takes all the souls and teaches them how to return to the light. And when Baldur dies, she returns hell. Hell returns Baldur to the world only when the world has been through Ragnarok and has transformed. So to find your spiritual soul mirror, you have to go through a personal Ragnarok. You have to burn and break and bust every single dogmatic belief you have and just fly like a cosmic phoenix. I'm seeing, they're showing me like stardust rolling from the feathers, not sort of like sooty flamey ashes. This is stardust. This is reminding us that we're all part of the cosmic stars. And we need to return to our own personal star to seek, oh yes, you see, to our own personal star. We all have a sun. We're all connected to a star that we see in the heavens above us. And when we connect to that star, we connect with the other part of our soul, our heart, and we can start to bring them together. We can start to merge them together. We need to go into the darkness and bring the light back out from within us. We all have a sun in the soul of in the seat of our soul, in our sacral. But you have to transform your entire belief system. Hooray! Yeah, look, eat me. I know where it comes from. I understand all the things about it. I've read about it. But we mustn't allow other people to dictate to others. I don't mean you. I just mean the way in which lawyers and legal teams created something that might not have been true. The term Stockholm Syndrome has come to mean something to help people understand feelings when, and it's not necessarily just abuse. It's the sense of when our love has been somewhere and we really don't know where to put the love. And that is like a form of Stockholm Syndrome, because we often leave people because we can't love the way they live anymore. And so in many ways there is an abuse, but we invite the abuse as well. But I can't bear it when people write articles and try and say this was all wrong and that was all wrong, because it's just being... I don't want to go there anymore, Eat Me. I really don't. It's an energy that doesn't need to be in this reading. You know, we all have an understanding of what Stockholm Syndrome means. And I just kind of reached a wonderful energy for everybody there. And we're still caught on judging the rights or wrongs of a term that most people just have an understanding of to help them get through something. Sorry, but so yeah, I'm sorry, but you know, some people do just get caught in their own story for a bit, and I don't want to judge Eat Me either, because I really like the comments that Eat Me brings, but it just wasn't working within my energy frequency today, and I'm sorry about that. Just because it's a frequency I've experienced, but yeah, there was a lovely, beautiful, cosmic phoenix energy that we've never experienced before, and that felt very lovely that we've got this frequency of stardust within inside us. So, are there any questions on the subject of the divine androgyny that you might like to ask? I might not know the answer. I'm going to have a sip of water. Can I have a sip of water? Thank you. Yeah, cosmic dating. That's what we want in bed tonight. You want to say to your spirit team, I'm ready to go dating myself in the cosmos and learn something. Be gorgeous. Oh, my goodness, you're in bed early. Bunny won't be happy about that. I have to say, I spend most of my time on my bed. When I've been doing all the poems, going through them with Kathy, I just lie on the bed the whole time. And occasionally I say, I've got to get up for a minute because I'm making my bed wet, sweating on it all day long. Well, look, if ever there's a place to go and cosmically romance yourself, Shinatka, it's definitely Paris. Thank you, Holly. It's a pleasure. Oh, she's in the backyard chilling, so you can hide in the bed because she's outdoors. I'm just reading your comments. It's not that I've gone completely, I lost my microphone or anything. It's a pleasure, people. I'm very glad you all had fun. I had fun. I didn't know where that subject was going. I really wanted more research into it. The Spirit just said, do it, we'll help you. It's a pleasure, people. It's a pleasure, people. Oh, the paper. The PayPal link, if you want to send me money, if you can, is PayPal me at Rustling Around or / Rustling Around. I think they changed it. I think both work. Yeah, it was fun. It's nice when you have a subject that you're not anticipating has opened up. And look, it came out through the Divine Masculine. But I was being told we need to try and find ways of avoiding Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, because they're causing misgendering. They're causing hiccups. So it doesn't mean I'm going to forever keep talking about it without saying Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. That'll happen. Because it's difficult to change language. I'm going to have to do it piecemeal. So anyway, that was the Divine Androgyne. Go date yourself. It's a really nice message. Go date yourself. And when you learn how to date yourself, then someone will come and date you. It's nice. I'm just reading what you're saying and swinging. Yes, night, everyone. Wassail for coming in. And I've been on for 2 hours, 27:03. So what's my next topic? Do you know, I've got no idea. I really don't. I think it will all still be coming out of this exploration I'm doing of my complete philosophical thoughts, because since the Divine Masculine energy came in and explained its part in the game of two hearts, and then today it adding to that frequency of changing the gendering of things and trying to regender things, I don't know. There'll be something, but it'll feel, I'll feel apprehensive because it's like a complete rewiring of my philosophical thoughts. It's exciting. Who wants to be static? Yeah. Box pizza in the backyard. You want to snuggle up to yourself with a movie, Athena. It's just interesting from a point of view that if you go dating yourself on the astral, you begin to learn what would be fully acceptable for on a date with another in the physical. So it's a really nice practice. But it's also, you've got to learn somehow to be seduced by yourself. That was very much part of the energy with the spirit spouses and everything. Is to learn to be sexually physical and emotional in the astral. And to feel a shameless bliss, because there's no shame in it. It's all blissful. You date yourself every day. Hooray! Don't tell Bunny. So I'm going to say bye, people, before it hits 2:30 hours. So wassail, everyone. It's been an absolute joy being here with you all. And let's see what comes up next. Bye.